Sessions from TEDxChattanooga presents local musicians in a mix of music and storytelling with a listening room vibe. The 2025 version of Sessions was held at the end of March at Songbirds in downtown Chattanooga. Among the artists, Caroline and Corbin Fawley.
The idea of songwriting implies that the artist is writing the song, but in our experience, the songs have been writing us. Looking back over the past 10 years, we can see how certain songs have shaped our lives and brought us into states of embodied presence. You don't have to be a songwriter to know what it's like for a song to shape your life. Think about that feel-good jam that became the anthem of your summer trip, or the song that was sung over you by a loved one at night. Perhaps a song supported you through a season of depression or a hard breakup. Or maybe there was a love song that the lead singer of a punk rock band wrote to win over your heart, and it worked, and you got married, and then you became a musical duo, and now you're doing a TEDx talk together. Well, that's what happened for me. Here's part of our story.
The first time I really saw Caroline, she was walking across the park at our college, and the sunlight was flowing through her blonde hair, and songbirds were singing around her. And I stopped in my tracks and thought to myself, that is the most radiant woman I've ever seen. And at this point, I'm going to give you all a disclaimer. If you don't like love stories or love songs, I'm sorry. As luck would have it, I ran into her in the cafeteria shortly thereafter, and we had a few of these serendipitous meetings, and they were the most beautiful conversations I had ever had in my life. And it didn't take me long to connect the dots to realize I should ask this girl out. And so I went to watch her dance company perform, and I ended up crying through most of the recital. I was so moved by her beauty on stage. And so I ran down after the show to congratulate her, and I was working up the courage to ask her out. But I froze 20 feet away as I witnessed another man handing her a dozen roses and giving her a hug. He even hugged her mom, and I knew I was in trouble then. So I didn't even walk up to her. I turned on my heels and walked as quickly as I could to go find the largest chocolate chip cookie my money could buy. Over the next 6 months, I watched via Facebook as their relationship developed, and it was disgusting. They went to concerts together, they went to the beach together, and they even sang songs together. But I was doomed to just wait patiently because I couldn't bring myself to pursue another girl, and I knew that this girl was amazing. Well, as I said, 6 months have gone by, and one night, it's deep in the middle of the night, and I'm praying and I'm listening. And all of a sudden, from deep inside me, this little voice asks me a surprising question. It says, "What's the desire of your heart?" I hadn't thought about that question in a long, long time, but the answer came instantly and effortlessly, and the answer was Caroline. And that was a profound turning point in the story of my life, because I realized that, okay, this wasn't just a crush that I had on her, but it was a deep truth within me that I was drawn to this person. And it kind of unlocked a new kind of energy in this whole story. And so I had discovered that truth, and I knew I had to tell that truth. And my go-to method for telling the truth is to put it in a song. So I started working on a song for her, and this one was a little on the spicy side. The first line of the song is, "I'll be right here when he's gone." And
Straight to the point.
And then it goes on to imply that we've gotten married and stuff. And so all of this is a very uncomfortable thing. An uncomfortable thing to publicly proclaim to a person who's technically not single. So I tried to water it down. I was like, I'm going to change these lyrics for the sake of my social situation. But the song wouldn't let me sing half-truths. The song, chased me. It pushed me into a deeper relationship with what I was really feeling. And it would hum itself when I was in class trying to pay attention to a lecture. And it woke me up in the middle of the night with this melody continuing to loop through my consciousness. And all of this was like a meditation on this affection that I was experiencing for Caroline. And it had the combined effect of bringing me into a new place of vulnerability. And so from this new place of vulnerability, I sat down and wrote her a letter sharing these feelings, albeit much more subtly than the song. And as the letter was being delivered, my band was practicing the song. Our second ever show was in a few days, and it seemed like all the pieces were falling into place. Now I'm going to put this story on pause for a minute, and as I do, I want to say that a lot of people, when they hear this story, they imagine like a romantic conquest where I'm swooping in to steal the girl. But there might be a little bit of truth to that. But as I experienced it, the one being conquered was me. I had been confronted by this deep truth within me, and now the song was holding me accountable to living that truth out. And that's the first way that songs write our lives. They commit us to an embodied expression of the truth. It's embodied because you literally can't sing unless you use your whole body. And it's the truth because if you're singing something you don't really believe, then as far as I'm concerned, you're not actually singing. And that's why singing is so scary for a lot of us, because it's such a vulnerable act. You're taking this piece of your inner world and you're exposing it to this outer world where all kinds of judgments can come your way. And that's only if a song is lucky enough to escape the inner realm of judgment, which I'm sure we all know can get pretty hairy sometimes. Especially when you're songwriting, that inner piece is huge. And that's an area where Caroline has a lot of hard-earned wisdom.
Yeah, so music has always played a huge part of my life. The songwriting process is newer for me, and it's been surprisingly difficult. I've experienced so much frustration and discouragement. As I have this sense that a song is inside of me, I can feel it, and I know I may have part of it come out, but it feels trapped, it feels stuck. And when this happens, I find myself in this spiral of judgment, like Corbin's talking about, these internal judgments that we place on ourselves that can be so strong. Critical thoughts will come in like, is this song even worth finishing or fighting for? Or will this song be relatable to someone else other than me? Or even just the ultimate fear of, am I capable of writing a song that's good, that's meaningful and powerful like Corbin can? Judgments, especially surrounding other people's perceptions of my art, was blocking my creative flow and numbing my instincts. And I realized that this feeling of being blocked was familiar to me. I have dealt with disease and chronic pain for several years. And in this journey, suffering has become one of my greatest teachers. It has taught me to pay attention to the pain. And furthermore, shown me that my body's condition is not limiting me, it's not trapping me, it's guiding me. And it's leading me in the direction of my greatest good. I've come to really believe that the path to healing is feeling what is. And applying this embodied truth, this principle of embodiment, to my writing process has brought so much breakthrough for me. I realized, looking back on all these times when I was trying so hard to write a good song, that I was spending so much of my emotional and mental energy trying to manage other people's hypothetical experience of the song, instead of me experiencing and enjoying it for myself and letting it unfold. I realized that this obstacle in my artistic process is an obstacle I've felt in my life too many times. This habit of stepping outside of myself and into the assumed perceptions of other people was inhibiting my own experience of my own life because I was not being fully present to it. And I realized that in that place of constriction, that is where the judgments come. So songwriting revealed this to me, and it also provided a path forward. Because the only real rule for any artist of any kind of art is to create what you enjoy. And how do we know what we enjoy? Through our feelings. And our feelings are felt in our bodies. So songwriting has provided this beautiful playground for me to practice feeling into the truth of my body, to attune to my own feelings, desires, dreams, preferences, and needs. And in this way, this is the second way that songs can write our lives. They can free us from judgment if we'll let them. and they draw us into deeper attunement with ourselves. And the beautiful thing about songs that come from this place is that they carry the power and the ability for the listener to experience freedom and self-exploration too, because that spirit is carried and felt. To further this point, I'm going to unpause the story that Corbin left off and share a little bit of my perspective. So I received his letter, and I was in shock. It was so bold and raw and honest and beautiful. And as he mentioned, I was not single, so I was kind of in a pickle because I was like, this is incredible, but I'm not available. So I thanked him for the letter. I thanked him for his honesty, and I said I would love to remain friends. His response was pretty funny. He just laughed and said, I'm not worried. I'm not in a rush. I know we're going to be together. I was like, who are you? Like, okay. And then he told me that coming Friday, his band would be playing the song that they wrote for me, or that he wrote for me for the first time. And he said, please come. And I was like, we'll see. Well, Friday came, and I decided I was not going to attend. I told myself, of course I wanted to hear it. I was so excited to hear it. But I told myself, if I'm meant to hear it one day, I will, in perfect timing. Well, little did I know that day would come sooner than I thought. I got home that evening from a long study session, and I was locked out of my dorm. So I called my roommates and my RAs, and they were literally all out of town and could not let me in. So then I started calling friends. Hey, will you come rescue me? I'm standing on the curb. And the only friend who answered said, yeah, I'll come pick you up, but I'm going to that concert, so you're going to have to go with me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So there I am walking in the concert. I'm literally in pajamas and going to this concert, and I'm like so nervous and disgruntled. And I said, okay, I'm just going to go in the back corner and not be seen and just secretly hear the song and then leave. And Corbin's going to take it from there.
The problem for her was that there was no back corner because the show was sold out, but people kept cramming in. And she ended up having to stand on a chair.
My friends betrayed me and pushed me up onto a chair.
So the energy in this room that night is incredible. It's very high. And our band, it's time for us to take the stage, and we push our way through the crowd, and we don't say anything. They just start playing. They're holding this F major 7 for 2 minutes. They keep building. It's this long crescendo. And they're just building this energy, and I'm scanning the room, and all of a sudden I lock eyes with Caroline. And we had already planned that the way I would trigger the song is by jumping, and that was my moment. So I jumped as high as I could. The band released all that built tension in this tidal wave of tube distortion, and when my boots hit the stage, I screamed the first line of the song. And the next 3 minutes have become a legend in our circle of friends and in the minds of everyone who was there that night. And one of the reasons it's legendary is because it actually worked. We got married. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we have a beautiful 5-year-old songbird of our own now, who's here tonight. Her name's Evelyn. But that's not the only legend that was born that night. I've heard firsthand accounts of people who were there that night with a truly broken heart, who had given up on the idea of love in their life, and being there that night restored that possibility in their imagination. I've talked with people who were ready to drop out of college because our town was so boring. But that night they realized, oh, we can have fun in this town. And I think I'll finish my degree. And I've even met people, this is verified, who met their soulmate that night at that show, other than me. And all of that happened because we were in this magic moment together, all of us, like inhabiting the song. And that's the third way that songs write our lives, is that they take this embodied expression of honesty and they broadcast it out into what has the possibility of being a collectively transformative experience. And so maybe we'll get to have one of those in a few minutes. We've picked songs for our set that in our lives have done the exact things we're talking about, that have committed us to an embodied expression of our truth, songs that have freed us from judgment by attuning us to our true feelings, and songs that have created these moments of communal transformation. And every once in a while, maybe a little dab of transcendence. And those are the moments that me and Caroline live for, when it feels like this dream has descended upon the room and everyone's personal experience of the song has become so immediate that we're all in it together in a kind of magical way. So as we wrap up the talk, I'll offer 3 invitations, 3 little tips on how to maybe invite that kind of experience for yourselves tonight. And what's cool about these principles is that they apply to you if you're writing a song or performing a song, or especially if you're listening to a song. So the first tip is what I call the song triangle. So if you imagine 2 of the bottom points on a triangle, on one end you have the stage and the performers, and on the other you have the audience. So if you're up on stage, your job is not to perform to the audience. You're actually singing to the song and to your experience of the song, which you're creating, which is kind of cool. If you're in the audience, your point of reference is not what's going on the stage. The center of your experience is your personal interaction with the song as it's unfolding in your imagination. And the more of your imagination you can bring into this process, the richer your experience will be. Second tip is in line with the theme of this talk, which is embodiment. So the more grounded and relaxed you are, the more you're going to be able to enjoy yourself while listening to a song. So here's what we're going to do. I invite you to join me for a couple of deep breaths. So let's take this first one into maybe get comfortable first. Make sure you like the way you're sitting, Take it in through your nose. We're going to go right into the chest here and the heart. Let it out. Oh, yeah. I already feel more relaxed. All right, this second one, let's draw it in a little bit lower down in the solar plexus area. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, Evelyn. Yeah, let it out slow. And this last one, let's see if we can go all the way down into the belly with this delicious breath. And as you exhale, just notice how nice it is to be alive. Let's go for a bonus breath. Let's fill out the whole body with your essence. Oh, yeah. Now we're ready to listen to a song. Okay. Now keep that breath flowing because it's going to help you with this next step. So the next step is to just relax and allow yourself to drift into a little bit of a dream through these songs. I saw you from across the park. You lit up my day like a fire in the dark. Next day I dressed up thinking thoughts of you. I hope to see you again, I hope to speak with you. And when we talked for the first time, I wish that it could last a lifetime. 'Cause there was a light in your eyes and a song in your words. And that's the kind of beauty that I want close to me. You're the kind of beauty that I want close to me. No one dances like you do. You're moving grace and you're moving truth. I chased you down like a gentleman, and you chased me back like a grown woman.
'Cause when we talked for the first time, I knew that it could last a lifetime. 'Cause your heart is steadfast and your soul is serene. And that's the kind of beauty that I want close to me. You're the kind of beauty that I want close to me.
We stood on the edge of a brand new world. I made it plain to you that you were my girl. So I offered a ring and the rest of my life. So glad that you said yes and the sun did rise. When we confessed it for the first time, I knew that it could last a lifetime. 'Cause your heart is steadfast and your soul is serene. And that's the kind of beauty that I want close to me. closer as the years roll by. As the years roll by. As the years roll by. I'm still falling for you, I'm falling to my death. This love's a gravity that keeps me under arrest.
Since I saw you from across the park, you lit up my world like a fire in the dark.
Thank y'all. Coyote, coyote, oh, can we go home? Mojave Desert makes me feel alone. Running for miles, been walking for weeks. I'm getting tired and I'm growing weak. Gemini, Gemini, up on the ridge. I could use a friend on a cold night like this. Cigarette smoke signal, carry my prayer. Don't let that border man see me down there. See me down in the canyon, rolling my dice. Make me a phantom. I need to fly away from her body back in Veracruz someday soon. I'll come home to you. Laramie, that's where I'll go. Montana by midnight through Nevada snow. Paint me a picture of this saffron sky, that raven so black, and this riverbed dry. The river is dry in this canyon, rolling my dice. Make me a phantom. I need to fly away from her body back in Veracruz someday soon. I'll come home to you. Ooh. Home to you. Coyote, coyote, oh, can we go home? Mojave Desert makes me feel alone. Thank y'all so much. We're so thankful to have been given the chance to do this TEDx talk. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you to all of you for giving us your precious attention. We got one more. shining reasons to me, reasons to be with our hearts burning together forever. Our hearts burning together forever, wrapped in the wings of a dove, light pouring down from above, filling up the night with shining. Tonight you are shining, reasons to me, reasons to be with our hearts, our hearts. Ooh.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Caroline and Corbin Fawley from this year's sessions from TEDx Chattanooga at Songbirds. Coming this fall, the TEDx Chattanooga Conference on Wednesday, November 19th at the Walker Theater. Visit TEDx Chattanooga at TEDxChat.com. That's TEDxChat, chat with 2 T's.com.